everyone out there, this is Liz from FCK.FM, and we bring to you the best of past, present and future heavy metal and rock. Here again with us, Schmier from Destruction. Hello again.
Still there.
Still talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
What about the dance you wanted to do for us?
Later,
okay.
Backstage to the backstage.
Only backstage, guys, sorry.
Oh, sorry, you won't see that. Oh my god. So the second part, we're gonna talk about the future of Destruction. And so, what everybody wants to know, and of course our viewers on YouTube too, is there a plan for the new studio album already?
Yeah, that's actually a little bit too early, you know. I'm always somebody that does a lot of planning, but I think it's better to focus on the actual stuff we do right now. And right now we are focusing on a Destruction movie that we're filming on this tour until next year. And also on the whole tour for this album. And I think next year, 2021, we might think about another album. Once I start writing, it goes quick, you know. We can do an album in 2-3 months if you start writing. But until then, I prefer to not write and think about it. Some musicians like to write the whole year. Yeah. I don't like that because usually when I keep myself hungry on writing and I sit down, I have the best ideas. And if I collect stuff over the years, then I won't like the stuff I had at the beginning of the year anymore. You know, so I'd rather sit down hungry. And I think 2021 we started about writing again, and then maybe next year will be a new album, maybe in 2022, we don't know. The good thing about Destruction is that we're meanwhile like a legendary band, so we don't have to do an album every 2 years, you know. It's once we're inspired, we go to the studio and then we're gonna do a great album. This one had great reactions, and so we wanted to do the next one even better, of course.
Of course, I have to ask you about the Destruction movie. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, maybe the idea is that we do like something. We have a film team with us on this tour and on several tours in the future, and we want to do the grand finale at the show in Mexico where we play with Creator, Solemn and Tankard, and all 4 German bands get together on a big festival in Mexico, in Monterrey. It's actually at the end of this year. And until then, we like just, you know, filming the way to go there, you know. Yeah. So some of this tour, some of the next tour, some backstage, some stuff from the rehearsal studio, or just like daily life of musicians, you know. And hopefully we're going to try to catch some of the good moments. And
like the best backstage dance that you're going to do later.
Yeah, exactly. You know, stuff normal people want to see about heavy metal musicians, you know.
And they're going to watch that as soon as it comes out.
Yeah, it should be interesting.
Yeah. I also want to ask you about the Burning Witches that you're managing. So from some people it might be like becoming a surprise that you're managing a band right now. So how did that come?
I mean, it's nothing better than heavy metal and a woman, right? I mean, it's the best combination. So when my friend came to me and said, hey, I want to do, she's like a guitar player in a heavy metal band, and she said, you know, I'm playing with guys all the time. I want to have a girl band, you know, it's like girls together. And I said, hey, when you want to do this, I'm going to help you, you know. So she got some girls and she started the band. And then when it comes to logistics, studio, production, I was helping them a bit, and then I kind of became the manager over the first couple of months. And since then we work together, and it's great fun. And for me, it's kind of repeating my life when I was young, you know. I try to make that they don't do the same mistakes that we did when we were young, and of course they have a lot of enthusiasm. They're young, they're wild, they want to experience stuff, you know. And for me, it's I'm living the same thing again as when we were young as Destruction, and what nobody expected this success of the band, you know. They just wanted to do music, and now stuff is going like big time. Upwards, and it's of course great. But also for them it's a lot of challenges now coming up because once you make those big steps, it's also they all have jobs, you know. And at one point you have a lot of tours, a lot of shows. You need to talk to your boss and say, hey, I'm not home all the time. Can I get some free days? So you get fired from a job and stuff, you know. Like a lot of musicians know how that works. So it's interesting, and yeah, I think the girls have a big career in front of them if they stay together and do what they do best. And it's they do everything very fresh. You know, so a lot of people were criticizing them for it looks like a casting band of heavy metal chicks, you know. But just because they look beautiful and they have good songs doesn't mean that it's a casting band, you know. Yeah, it's great fun for me to do, and of course it's also a lot of work because, you know, 5 women, 5 opinions. You know, women can be very dramatic, you know, but it's great fun though.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's cool. Are you planning on doing some other management for other bands in the future?
I don't think I have time for that actually, but who knows? I mean, it's for me also interesting, and of course I can have so much experience meanwhile that stuff is easy for me to understand and to decide. But you know, one day maybe Destruction won't do so much anymore, and then I'm maybe going to step in with some more management beats. Who knows? At the moment, I'm still happy we play, and but of course, I could see this also maybe doing it more professionally in the future at one point.
A couple of times you played at the Metal Cruise 70,000 Tons of Metal. I want to talk about this to you because this is something kind of new in the music scene, the metal scene. Because in the 80s, something like that wouldn't have been possible at all.
But it's actually amazing, you know.
Is it?
Yeah, a lot of people were like, say, yeah, it's like too high end and it's too expensive, but actually for what you get, you know. I mean, most people also go on holidays and they pay like $1,000 for flying somewhere and going to a hotel, you know. Here you got a hotel on the ship and you have 300 heavy metal bands, or was it more? 600, I think.
Yeah.
And you have to say the boat is really like outstanding. It's like a city for itself. It's so big, and it's never too crowded. Just the shows are crowded, and so much space, and such a chilled atmosphere also. And yeah, it's really awesome. I recommend it to everybody. All my friends always say, "How is it? How was it?" And I say, if you have the money one day, go there. And there's also a boat now, Wacken is doing one also, called Full Metal Cruise. Mm-hmm. It's also a very nice ship. It's a Mein Schiff 3, a German boat, like a really nice one. And I heard a Swiss promoter will do another boat next year also, so it's going to be a third one coming up. That's an Italian ship from Costa Line, I think, doing also the Mediterranean seas, also with heavy metal. So I think
more and more, right?
Yeah, it's because it's cool. It's really cool, and there's also more stuff. We're playing Full Metal Holidays in summer also, and yeah, gonna be interesting how to see that. It's like heavy metal. How you call this? Holidays. Yeah. I heard it's gonna be very loud and no sleep. So.
Is the audience the same on this kind of events as in a normal festival, or is it different?
I think it's more chilled, you know, like especially on the boat. I expected more drunken people, but it's actually wasn't so bad. Of course, there's some drunken people, but
sure.
It's actually people behave quite good. Also, the staff from the boat, a lot of people. The captain also said, "Hey, we were surprised. You know, the metal kids are cool. They party hard, they drink a lot, but it's not like antisocial or something." You know? So it's, you know, it's been really nice experience.
Maybe everybody of you should check it out too.
I can recommend that stuff. I mean, of course it's a little expensive, but you know, skip your holidays and go on the ship. It's kind of cool.
Maybe you should do that. So, since the golden times of Titanic Big Four...
what do you mean, since the golden times? They're still on.
Yeah, but what I want to say is, since they started, maybe, a lot of new bands have come up in Germany too, in the German-speaking area. And they try to get your throne, kind of. So, what bands in the German-speaking area do you think have a chance of conquering your throne?
Oh, if I say the wrong names now, nobody will talk to me anymore.
That's right.
No, I think there's a lot of good bands coming up at the moment, and actually, it's insane how many underground bands there are out there that nobody knows already. Right. That are just coming up with demos and new albums. The quality is great at the moment, so I'm not really concerned about the future of thrash. You know, one day, Creator, Destruction will step back, and there will be young bands that are as good as us. You know, of course, with the first line, with the originators, but the young bands are great players and very skilled. And of course, I think the winners will be those bands that find their own direction. You know, you need to find your own your own way to play the thrash.
You're copy, but you're on
exactly, not just copycats. And you have to make it your own identity. And I think those bands will go further.
Yeah, I think so too. So you've been in the music business almost 4 decades now, and many things have changed, like digitalization, for example. What advice would you give a young band that's starting right now to be successful in music business the way it is right now?
Yeah, count on the new medias is the number one rule, I think. Maybe in some years you won't need a record label anymore because new medias are faster, and I think heavy metal has to stop being afraid of Spotify and Apple Music. It will be the future. We have to accept it. There will still be CDs and vinyls. This will still go on as like special editions, but the main sales will be modern media sales on streaming. And heavy metal fans have to support the streaming also, because this is the future. And when fans are going to hold back, the bands won't survive. The bands need full support and all those new medias too. And I can still see a little, like, people are a little scared to stream and to go that lane, but I think it's important that the new medias get supported too, and that's why it's a good thing for the young bands, because you can basically take care about most stuff yourself, and also you can reach the fans all over the world when your stuff is on Spotify and other portals. Fans from India, America, Japan, everybody can listen to the album. And before it was complicated, you had to send stuff around in the mail, or you had to have certain portals that charge a lot of money, like iTunes and stuff in the past. So for us musicians, it's less pay, so it's a little difficult thing, to accept. But it is the future, and we have to work with it. And hopefully, the young bands will have the chance in the future to keep all it up, because with less income, it's more difficult to produce videos, to produce the albums, right? Because it's just pennies that you make on those streamings, and so we will see how that goes. But I'm confident it will kind of even out, and I think for young bands, this is definitely a good way to get recognized. Go on those new portals, register there, try to invest a little money in the advertising, and then you don't even need a label to get first recognitions.
It's easier to promote yourself.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Okay, so thank you for the interview.
Pleasure.
The last words are on you.
Yeah, we're gonna go dance now. I'm just gonna watch, but
no, you're gonna dance.
I'm not gonna dance. I'm so sorry.
I will tell you about that later.
No, just kidding. We're gonna thrash a good show tonight here in Munich, and hopefully see you all on tour soon. We're gonna come to America, to Japan, to Asia, Australia this year. We're gonna come to Russia beginning of next year. We're gonna go worldwide for Destruction Born to Perish tour. So hopefully see you all out on the road.
So thanks again for the interview.
Pleasure.
Thanks to you for watching our newest episode here in Munich. If you like what you saw, please subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell for new content, and give us a like. And if you have any questions for us, please send them right down there. Thank you. See you next time.